And good afternoon, everybody. It is high noon. That means it is time for Willy and DMase, the special summer hours, going from noon to 3 for the next couple of weeks as we shuffle around. Today, once again, Derek Mason on the European tour, on vacation. His son DJ just graduated from Boston U. His daughter Bailey, they are out and about. I'm not sure what country or where, but they were going all over the place. So we wish DMase well. He'll be back soon. Of course, if you haven't been around the last few days, Caroline Fenton has moved on, taken a new gig, staying in the family. You'll hear from her down the road, but she has left the radio circuit for the time being. So that means we've got a series of great co-hosts, special guest stars, if you will. We had Jill Jelnick from Fox 17 the last couple of days. She got strong marks, so big, I would say, tough act to follow here. Nick, would you agree?
Yeah, I think Jill went about like 6 2/3 Baseball Reference there, maybe 7. And we got Skillsy over here coming into relief.
Yes.
For 8 to 9 here, 8 innings.
Big shoes to fill, but I got big feet.
This is true. So Hal Gill joins us.
She was good. She did a great job. You got to be careful, DMase. You slip away, you take a little vacation, then people start
That's right.
filtering in. You never know.
Same thing's going on in the afternoon. Jared
careful.
Stillman's on vacation. A couple of youngsters jumping in there, doing a nice job.
Good.
Jake
That was
Lyman
the
doing
story
a
of
good
my
job.
career. Is it just don't get out of a game, stay in, so you never get your spot taken. Yeah, Jill was good. I enjoyed listening to her.
Yeah, she did a great job. So Hal Gill is with us today through Friday. And so we will, obviously, with the Predators off-season coming up, we've got some things to tackle there. At 1 o'clock today, Scott Nickel is going to join us, assistant general manager for the Predators, longtime player for the Predators, and he is really in charge of the Milwaukee Admirals, who had that long run in the playoffs. We'll catch up with him on some of his observations with some of the top prospects with Nashville, and then we'll pick Skillsy's brain about how Barry Trotz has options to try to build on what was a really good year last year. But Skillsy, first of all, how's your summer going?
Good. I tell you what, I was depressed for a little while after the Preds lost. I don't know what that team did to me, but I really had a belief that they were going to do something special, and it didn't work out for them, and a tough series in Vancouver, but I wanted that to continue. So when I was done, it was off to coaching hockey, coaching lacrosse, and it's a grind, being around home and, and doing all that. And now I got the kids full force, and we're digging into summertime, heavy time.
Is everybody home right now? Both all kids? Is Izzy home?
Sophie's my 16-year-old. She's off playing lacrosse in Baltimore because that's where lacrosse happens. Izzy, my 19-year-old, is training and digging in hard, working. And then Talon, my 12-year-old, is just all over me. Just like golf, fish. He wants it all.
Activity.
Yeah, it's go, 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 go. So
I saw
I'm balancing that.
This was a eye-opening stat. Nick, we love the stats on this show, but just watching, I don't know what show it was. It was one of the morning shows, CBS Morning or something. They did a piece on teenagers and screen time, and they said 4.8 hours per day of screen time is the average for a teenager.
Yeah.
I knew it was a lot, but that seems really high.
It's funny.
So I'm glad to hear you're saying talent is staying active, doing things, because that's important to balance that out. Because they're all on the phones doing all that stuff.
Yeah, and when you're bored around the house, that's what you do. It's like the first thing you do. You just grab your phone.
You and I used to just sit on the couch and watch whatever was on TV.
Yeah, go hit a tree with a stick. I like it. Like there was nothing else.
Cut grass, Hal?
Yeah, I was cutting grass. I had the chore list, and like going around trying to make a little scratch here and there. But, what's funny is we went out to Montgomery Bell, the state park out there, and stayed there for a few nights, and it's beautiful. My son comes up to me and says, "Hey, Dad, can you just put my phone away?" And I was like, you can put it away. He's like, "I won't do it. I need to unplug here, and I need you to do it for me."
Don't give me the option of picking it up.
He's like, the self-discipline isn't there, but you can help me out with this one.
Yeah.
So it was cool.
His mind's in the right place. That's good.
Yeah. He knows that he shouldn't be staring at his phone, but it's hard not to.
Yep. So it is a different time for sure. So how last night, I was kind of hoping, and Nick, you heard my prediction. What was I maybe predicting because I wanted the series to extend a little bit because I did pick the Panthers to win the series, but I did think the Oilers would win last night, but I'm glad because now we have some hockey to look forward to the next couple of days and analyze.
Yeah, the 3 days off in between, like it's wearing me out. It's like I want the next game. Like these games are great.
Right.
Like this has been a good. The whole playoffs really have been great with a ton of stories. And McDavid last night, it's absurd. And we always talk about it every time you get to see Edmonton. It's a special event. You know, McKinnon with Colorado. You know, you get to see Hughes play in Vancouver. There's certain players that are just so fun to watch. Makar, but McDavid is just on another level. Every time he touches the puck, you're on the edge of your seat, just digging in what's going to happen. And then he's stepped up big time. And so this is going to be fun. Hey, you know, it's one thing to win in Edmonton. You come back and win in Florida, and I don't know what the atmosphere was like there. It didn't seem as crazy as it's going to be crazy in Edmonton. A game 6 in Edmonton is going to be insane.
The buildup, as you mentioned, you have the whole day. They're building in extra time because the travel's so long.
Yeah.
So you have this. Imagine that city for a couple of days just leading up to the game. It's just going to be
all they have.
That's what they have. They breathe
have
it.
Oil and Oilers. That's it. And they're going to be fired up. It's going to be tough for Florida to win that. And so Game 7 comes around, and I think it will go to a Game 7.
You think so?
I think so. I think it's going to be really hard for Florida to get momentum back and get a win. I think they're the better team, but when McDavid does what he does, it's hard to say anyone's better than him.
I'll throw a nugget out there, a little stat nugget. All
okay.
Right? No team has ever won the Stanley Cup in Edmonton on a Game 6. So it's 0-7.
And they've had a few up there.
That's true.
Yeah.
So just putting that out there.
All right.
You know, I was also thinking when it was 3-0, I was thinking that there's just not this team. I think like you, I'm with you that I think the Panthers have the deeper team, the better team, but not a 4-0 sweep kind of advantage. And there's not that much difference between the two teams, so it's balancing out a little bit. Especially, like you played with Sidney Crosby. You know he's such a game changer. You just can't keep a generational player down for 4 straight games.
Yeah,
right. It's hard.
Yeah,
and McDavid
and they did a great
came
job.
back around. They were doing an
job.
unbelievable job on it. That was part of the thing to watch. It's like, man, how are they doing this? They are shutting down McDavid and Draisaitl, but the law of averages kind of catches up.
Yeah, what Florida does better than any team is just the puck pressure. Like, there's no room to move. And the second McDavid gets room to move, and they did that well for the first 3 games, and, you know, if you take away time and space, it's tough for him to get going. But once he gets going, the way he just knifed through that defense and set up Corey Perry, I know everyone in Nashville is ecstatic.
Was really
to see
excited
him
for
score.
Corey Perry, yeah.
And I mean, he's scored a goal in 5
different NHL Stanley Cup
finals. I mean, that's
nobody had ever gotten.
You can hate him
4.
all you want, but you do have to respect him. I mean, as much as people hate to hear that, you got to respect that. But I mean, you know, I think anyone could have tapped that one in. That was just all McDavid doing McDavid things.
It was amazing. So Game 6 is coming up. They travel today. They're off tomorrow. So that will be what, Friday?
Friday.
They play?
Friday
okay.
night.
Friday, 7
night. So
p.m.
we'll have some things to set up on Friday for sure. So great game. I thought it was the best game of the series last night, just from a drama standpoint.
Yeah,
because
Florida was pouring it on. They gave them everything they got. You know, it's one of those games that could have gone either way. But when a guy steps up and makes plays, like how big was Tkachuk coming and scoring that goal? And he was on the schneid for a little bit and came out with a big game. And you know, he almost guaranteed that win too. He almost came as much as said, "We're back at home and we're going to win this thing." Not a guarantee, but he played like it. He played like he
made a
to.
big play to score. Then he made a great pass to make it 4-3, where you could see him reading the defense, and you're like, what's he going to do here? And then he made a beautiful pass to set up the goal. And then the play that is sort of that visual that you'll always remember, just laying out and reaching and keeping the puck out of the empty net. You know, that just was great. That was just great sports, right? That's just one where you're like, man, this is what's on the line. You see a guy just giving it all like that.
Yeah, and then, you know, you sent me that tweet with
Tkachuk's effort, and then watch his teammate, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who scored a goal to make it 4-3.
Great
He's
player.
been a nice piece to them, kind of a guy that was overpaid for a while that has ended up
overrated, but
still good,
a good
right?
player.